Hey, hi, hello, welcome back. I'm Heather, or Miss Postlewaite if you're one of my students, and this is Pages with Postlewaite. So I guess I'm doing a book haul. I do my book hauls at as much of a discount as I possibly can, and so I really like to go to thrift shops and secondhand bookstores and yard sales and that kind of thing. And so this particular one is almost 90% a thrift store here in where I live. So I'm really excited because I went in kind of to really quickly just see if they had anything because I'm not usually in town, and lo and behold, they had tons and I couldn't say no. And so I had a little bit of an allowance aside for myself, and I might have overspent, we'll see. But it was funny because this time going, I went with some kids in mind. So as I'm looking at the shelves and I'm picking out books, I actually had certain students very specifically in mind. Oh, this kid is reading this book. Oh, this kid was asking about this book. Oh, this kid is... So a lot of the reasons behind what I grabbed this go round have to do with specific kids. And I'll get to the other reason in some of the other ones. But that's the first one that I'm getting, so please don't judge. I thought I had a copy and I just can't find it for the life of me. So I ended up getting a copy of Twilight. So don't judge. We have a whole nother generation coming up that wants to enjoy and read. And you know what? Look at that chonker. I'm excited to have a student that wants to read a book like that. Here's where you probably are going to see kind of the variety when it comes to middle school. So I teach 6th grade. That means the majority of my students are 11 and turning 12 this year. Not everybody, but a lot of them. It's a very different age. If you remember that age for yourself, we kind of joke a little bit that we have the kids that still play with Barbie, and then the kids that think they're Barbie, and everybody in between. So I don't know if that helps paint a picture for the age group, but that's why I read middle grade YA, because that's what my students are reading. So we go from Twilight to, maybe it's not a huge jump, but Wings of Fire. So I found they actually had several. I know I have 1 through 5, so I was actually able to find 6, 9, and 14. And yeah, you grab them when you find them, because Wings of Fire, super popular. This has been popular for years. The kids love these, and now they're coming out in graphic novels. So I love having these available to the kids. So found 3 of those. Okay, so when I say specific kid, this one was for a specific kid. I have one specific kid, and all he wants to read is Goosebumps. I have a lot of Goosebump fans, actually. So I teach, I don't know, 125 students this year. And every class has fans of Goosebumps. But I have one particular kid who asks me every time, the white pages, Miss Postlewaite, the Goosebumps with the white pages. I'm like, okay, I have like 3 white pages. I found white pages, yay! So look at all these Goosebumps that I found, and this is specifically, again, a kid request. So hopefully I'm gonna keep him reading for a couple more months here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 of those. So I don't know what he's read, but hopefully I've got a few new ones here. So white pages, and yeah, specific. I don't know what. Anybody know what's the difference? I'm thinking maybe they're the more recent ones, and maybe the yellower pages are older. I don't know. These are all Slappy World, so I don't know if that's a thing. I listen. I don't always understand, but I listen. Obviously, I teach middle school, so when you see a middle school, James Patterson, these are always popular. The kids really like them. They have a lot of picture to word ratio, so that's nice. And they're silly, and they are right at that age group. And I mean, there's shows or movies. I think that I have several readers that'll pick this one up. It's got a really nice texture to it, but in an effort to keep them lasting longer, I will probably cover that, which is unfortunate because this feels really nice. Okay, so this book, Frozen Charlotte, I have read it. If you've been here for even half a second, you know I don't do scary. I don't like scary, but I will usually read at least one or two, so I'm kind of in the loop. I read this a couple years ago. It's the one that I hand the kids when they're like, well, do you have anything scary? I had 2 copies last year, and they both walked right off my shelf, so I haven't had a Frozen Charlotte all year long. And this was there, and it was only $1.79. I'm like, yes, please. So Frozen Charlotte is coming back to entertain more of my students. It says a ghost story, but I'm telling you, dolls and Ouija board and, oh my gosh, creepy, 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 haunted little isolated location. So definitely a creepy, scary one. Recommend. I'm so excited to have it. I mean, look here. Ew. Yeah. And then this is just a shout out to publishers that understand their audience. Thank you. So I found an entire huge number of books here that are the hardbound with the picture on the front. Thank you for not putting a sleeve on it. Thank you for it being hardbound. These books will last so much longer in a kid's hand than the paperbacks. And then as an adult, I don't even like the dust jacket kind of scenario. What do you do with the dust jacket? And so those always get destroyed in my library at school. And so I love when they do the hardcover. Of course, Lemony Snicket and the Series of Unfortunate Events, they had the first 3. I have the whole series as long as they haven't walked off my shelf in the years past. But these were hardbound, and so they're gonna last forever. And you can always use the first of a series, multiple of that copy, because that's the one that always disappears. Why is that? So I found 3. I love what is that? The uneven pages. It's just got a nice feel. These are fun to read. So thank you to publishers that understand their audience. Middle grade, backpacks kill books, and thank you. So I found a bunch, and I'm really excited because the majority of what I'm about to show you all are these hardbound with the picture on the cover. Love it. Okay, so that's 3. Alan Grantz. I cannot say enough about Alan Grantz. Thank you for writing historical fiction for this age group. They are intense. Now, I've read at least 2 Alan Grantz. I have not read Ground Zero. I should. I know it'll make me cry. They're good. They're intense, and they're realistic. I read Grenade, and I found it kind of violent for my own personal taste. But I have students that gravitate to this kind of thing, and I think he does a fantastic job. Please keep writing. Thank you, Alan Grantz. Anyway, hardcover, all of his are like this. I love that. Yeah, remember that age discrepancy differences? So I have kids reading at all levels, and as a reading teacher, my perspective on that has shifted a lot. So this is just teacher talking, sorry. And this year, one of the big shifts for me is that reading is reading, and I'm going to count it. And so, yeah, I have a kid reading Twilight. I have kids reading Alan Grantz. Obviously, I have kids reading Gordon Corman. I wasn't always a big fan of Dogman, but the kids love them. They think they're hysterical. I don't have any on my bookshelf because I was not a huge fan. But I'm really trying to shift that perspective, and I'm watching the kids. They're independently reading, they're laughing, they're enjoying it. Does it challenge them and grow their vocabulary? Probably not a ton, but you enjoy this book, then maybe I can hand you a Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then maybe I can hand you a James Patterson Middle School, and then maybe, you know, it's part of the journey. And so, still not my favorite, but you know what? Meet the kids where they are. So I found a dog man and I found a cat kid. And so, you know what? I'm gonna embrace this journey and bring these to the table, and I am sure that they will get checked out. The next 3, I actually have the first 2. I have these 2 on my shelf, but they are looking rough and covers are coming apart and things. And so when I saw these and they were a decent price, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put the plastic cover on these 2 and hopefully have copies that are gonna last a little bit longer. And then I do not have this one. So R2D2's Guide to Folding and Doodling. These are fun. They're origami and like helping the kids. I mean, they're like teaching them how to make things, and of course it's Star Wars. We have to embrace that, but they're funny. There's funny little pieces to it. I mean, it's an entertaining book. Fantastic. So my Star Wars kids, my kids that maybe don't love fiction, but maybe like nonfiction. I know that these aren't, but they're like how-tos and humor and that kind of thing. So it hits a different audience. So I'm excited about it. So again, see, growing. I'm growing. So of the hard stackies, again, they had a ton of Dork Diaries. These were a little more pricier, like closer to $4 each. So it was buy 4, get 1 free. And the guy that helped me out, checking out, actually gave me a little bit of a teacher support there. But I felt like, you know what? Again, my books have walked off the shelf over the years. I did have quite a few of these, and I haven't. And so I grabbed several of them. You can kind of see they're higher up, obviously number 4, but it's more of the higher up ones. So excited to have those, and I know they'll get read, and I know they'll get checked out, and the kids are reading, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, and this is kind of on par with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Our protagonist is female in here. My students love these. Doesn't matter. That was my purchases from the thrift shop. It was buy 4, get 1 free. So I tried to buy, I think I got 25. I got 25 books, and then I actually got 1 more. So I got 26 books. And of those, that would mean, what? 6 of them. I think I got 6 of them for free. So that's really good. And then a lot of them were $1.79. So you can't pass that up. And then I went to a secondhand store for books that I love here in town. And again, I have a student who is pretty much reading all of the Gordon Korman backlist. I am so excited. Honestly, he could not find anything to read this year and has just been a struggle. He was going through all the Diary of a Wimpy Kids, but he'd really read them before and he was bored. He was bored. And I put Restart in his hand. And Gordon Korman, I think that's like his masterpiece, honestly. It is the best book for middle grade. So I put Restart in his hand. He loved it, ate it up. And he has been going through all the Gordon Kormans lately. And so anything that I have and anything that the school library has, he's been reading. And so I'm trying to make sure that I keep having more. Fantastic author. Again, thank you for writing. And this one, I had a copy and it walked off my shelf last year. So I think I need to do a better job this year of chasing after the kids who have the books checked out so they come back. So they don't all walk off my shelf because I can't keep putting them back on there. Anyway, cute book. Bought that one. I traded some books. So really this one and the other one I'm about to show you only cost me $2 because I had credit because they took some books from me. So Love that. Okay, so I saved the best for last. I'm so excited about this. So this book is called Show Me a Sign. I just finished reading it. I am not going to tell you anything about it because I'm going to put it in a different video. My December wrap up. This will be in there for sure. However, just a snippet, a little sneak peek. I don't know if I'm the only one that doesn't know this, or if this is just common knowledge, I missed it, or if this is just, if it is as eye-opening for you as it was for me. But did you know, so Martha's Vineyard, originally the people there, the Wampanoag, still there, when the colonists came, one of the first colonists to that area was deaf. And more settlers from a particular area in England came in and settled, shared for a while, shared land with the Wampanoag. And a large portion of this isolated community was deaf. It was like 1 in 12, I think, of the people born there and in the community were deaf. And so they had a sign language that was their village sign language, and everyone spoke it, hearing and non-hearing, and just the community was extremely accessible for everybody there. This is a fantastic story, and it's a historical fiction, and it is something that I had zero idea about. So even the local Wampanoag tribe learned that village sign. Many of them learned the village sign to communicate with each other. It's a fascinating, awesome story. I can't wait to share more about this. But just that historical context, this book takes place in the early 1800s. It was super good. Anyway, I'll talk more about that, but I can't tell you how excited I was to find a copy that I could put in my library like immediately after I just finished this book today. Like, coincidence? I think not. So anyway, this is called Show Me a Sign by Anne Claire Lazoit. It is an own story. She is deaf and writing about like that from that historical perspective. I loved it. I loved it. So, highly recommend. And I have a copy. So I'm going to put a cover on that one, and I can't wait to share it with my students. I think I have several readers that are going to love this. So, but I bought this one for me, like, not because I had a kid in mind, but because I want to talk to my kids about it. Okay, so that is my huge book haul that I got for a really good deal. Not quite the Ganga deal that I maybe got a couple months ago, but still really good. I'm really excited about it. And I think I am adding 28 books to my library at school, which I know my kids are going to love. And the best part is all those hardcovers, I don't have to do anything to them. I can just put them in my library. So thank you, publishers who do that for middle grade. You're a teacher hero. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the flip side.